Good afternoon. I'm really glad to be here. My name is Spinnaker Greenberg. Now, challenges and obstacles are an integral part of progress and the human experience. Now, that's in no way a bad thing, and when you think about it, let's be honest, if you're not facing obstacles at some point during your life, you're probably doing something wrong. But again, it's in no way a bad thing because our obstacles, they shape us. They develop who we are as a person, and they can sometimes lead to the greatest changes in your life and can even lead to the greatest innovations our world has ever seen. Think about that for just a moment. Think about all of the luxuries that you have in your life today. Think about your computers that I'm sure all of you have at home. Those wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the challenge of trying to break the Nazi Enigma code during World War II, because Alan Turing invented the Turing machine to break that code, which later developed to the computers that we take for granted today. Or the jumbo jets flying overhead, delivering us across the world faster than any other method of transportation. Those wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that obstacle of trying to soar through the air with the birds that led to the invention of the aeroplane by the Wright brothers. Now, these obstacles, they shape us. And unfortunately, the biggest obstacle any of us have with any challenge that we are presented with is ourselves. Your biggest inhibitor is your own mind. Your biggest enemy is the words, "I can't." But I would like to show you that your mind, your biggest inhibitor, can also be your greatest ally. I'm sure that most of you are at least somewhat familiar with the term mind over matter, right? Well, I don't think you know quite how powerful that is. See, the mind is our greatest tool. It's our greatest asset. It's an amazing, mysterious, powerful thing that's always developing, always learning. It's always fueling our bodies and our actions. And it gives us the ability to overcome anything that life throws at us. When I was in middle school, now most of you here are freshmen, so middle school was a pretty recent experience. When I was in 7th grade and 8th grade, I was struck with a flurry of health problems. It started in 7th grade. I had a lot of back problems and a lot of bronchial problems. I ended up having bronchitis 5 or 6 times. I had pneumonia twice. It was a very low point in my life. I had a lot of stress, which was a major contributing factor, and the sickness just piled onto that stress. My rock bottom was the first semester of 8th grade. I had bronchitis yet again, and after I recovered from that, it took about a week and a half, 2 weeks, I just kept coughing. Didn't stop. I went to numerous doctors, and I just kept coughing. I was prescribed multiple medications, but I just kept coughing. It was unbearable. Eventually, about 3 or 4 weeks in, I went to a specialist. That specialist told me that I had developed a habit of coughing, a literal addiction that I had to break. I had to train myself day after day to not cough. I had to force myself to stop coughing incrementally. Now, I hope none of you ever have to deal with the obstacle of an addiction, especially nothing involving any sort of drugs or alcohol or anything like that, because it's a very difficult thing to do, to break that, but it's not impossible. See, I believed that I could break this. And after those 5 weeks of being out sick, 5 consecutive weeks of hell, I was free. And I was also enlightened, because I knew that I would never let sickness beat me ever again. I knew that if I believed that I could overcome it, I would always win. And all of you can too, with anything you have in your life. Any obstacles that present themselves to you, whether they be monumental or incredibly small, if you believe that you can progress through them, that you can embrace them even, you will succeed, and it will make you a better person. It will make you better people, more able to change the world. You will be faced with obstacles. It's going to happen. It's not the most fun thing in the world, trust me. And maybe a lot of you already have. But you can never let yourself give in to the pressure. You can never say to yourself, I can't. You can never doubt yourself. Because the minute that you doubt yourself, the minute that you give in, that is when you lose. A lot of people around the world are facing challenges and obstacles. Probably more challenging than any of you will ever experience yourself. But when they stop giving up hope, giving up belief that there is a better tomorrow, that they can progress through this, that they can persevere, that is when they have lost. And I hope none of you ever lose. Because I want every single person on this planet to win, to progress and persevere through their obstacles. Being a magician, a lot of people ask me, is magic real? My answer is a little bit interesting. Because yes, magic is real, but not in the way that you might think. The ability to just make something appear out of thin air is not really real. That's not real magic. All of the magic that I do on stage, that I perform, that can be boiled down to technical aspects like sleight of hand, gimmicks, things like that. I'm going to get a lot of flack about that, by the way, too, because the magic community is a tight one. Anyways. But yes, it can all be boiled down to technical aspects, but that's not the true magic. See, any advice that I would ever give to a magician, the best advice I could give them would be to believe in their own magic. I know that they know, I know that it's all sleight of hand or whatnot, but when I am on stage and I'm performing and I believe in my own magic, all of you believe, my audience believes, the world believes. And when they believe, their sense of wonder and amazement, that's the true magic. Similarly, in all of your lives, in everyone's lives, the obstacles that you face, that they face, it all boils down to whether or not you believe you can do it. Because if you believe that you can persevere through your obstacles, you can. And while it may not be as easy to just will your obstacles away, it gives you the ability to come up with new solutions, new ideas, which is something that's an integral part to this world. That's why TED exists, presenting new ideas, new ways of thinking about life. So when I tell magicians believe in your own magic, I'm telling them to believe in themselves. Because if you believe in yourselves, then you will go far. You will come up with new ideas, create new things that will change the world. And that is the greatest magic that I have ever seen. And on that note, I would like to leave you all with a little bit of magic of my own. Now, I want you all to use your imaginations a little bit. Use your minds. They're powerful tools. I want you to imagine that I have 6 cards in my hand. So far, it's not that hard, because I do in fact have 6 cards in my hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. What I want you to do is I want you to imagine that these are a symbol, that these are the balance of all of your lives. This is the flow of your life. It's in balance. Now, life isn't fair. You will run into obstacles. And sometimes it tries to disrupt that balance. It will throw away 1, 2, 3 cards. You're out of balance now because you only have 3, you need 6. But if you believe that you can persevere through your problems, you will still maintain that balance of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. When I was sick and I had that annoying habit cough, my life was out of balance. That took away my 1, 2, 3 cards. But I persevered. I believed that I could overcome that. I believed that I could win. And I went on to high school, the best years of my life so far. And I still had with me my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. All of you will face obstacles. You will face challenges. Hopefully none too great, but sometimes those produce the greatest change. The world may take away your 1, 2, 3 cards, but you will still, if you persevere, if you believe in yourselves, you will maintain your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. It's not always that easy though. Sometimes the world can be quite mean. It can take away 3 cards, 1, 2, 3 cards. And sometimes all you're left with is 1, 2, 3 cards. Now, this is no mistake. It does happen. But don't fret, because if you persevere, if you believe in yourself more than you ever have, you will come up with new ideas, new ways of getting around that. You will invent new strategies to always have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. And that is how you will change the world. Thank you very much.